Ready and now, my people, it's your guy, Kunle, aka the Nigerian Englishman.
And your boy Kanebi, aka Mr. Gopo.
And we are here for another episode of Round on the Ground.
Yes, sir.
Premier League is the most exciting league in the world right now. And who's at the top of the league still? And still top of the league? Arsenal. 1-0 victory at the Stamford Bridge. Some Arsenal fans were telling me the Bridge is like their second home. 3 years in a row, 3 points in a row, they move on. Top of the league.
Manchester City, of course, they won with 10 men. Erling Haaland coming off the bench to score a penalty. That man, he's on fire. They missed him. Even with the goal by Julian Alvarez, he still came on and he still made his mark in the game. Can Erling Haaland and Man City be stopped?
Good evening, Manchester United fans. The return to the Premier League for Unai Emery, and what a game to come back against Manchester United, and a convincing 3-1 victory. Is he starting as his means to go on? Time will tell.
Liverpool are back to winning ways. A 2-1 win at the Tottenham Stadium. 2 goals from the prolific Mohamed Salah. Harry Kane with a consolation goal at the end. They tried to fight back and win, but we all know Tottenham is a one-half team.
Bundesliga. Finally, Union Berlin have been knocked off the top spot, and Kanebi, the way they got knocked off the top spot this weekend, it was brutal. They collect five of the best from Xavi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen. 2 goals from Moussa Diaby. He's due to light up the World Cup this year, and a lot of Premier League teams are after the boy, and we can definitely see why. And back to the top, back to action, back in business. We got Bayern Munich back to the top of the Bundesliga with a 3-2 win against Hertha Berlin. And again, another goal for Choupo-Moting. The boy just can't stop scoring. Borussia Dortmund with a 3-0 win over Bochum on Saturday. 17-year-old striker Youssoufa Moukoko scored a brace. Half Cameroonian. He plays for Germany right now. Let's hope he does the right thing when the full international period is up for grabs. RB Leipzig with a convincing 3-1 win over Hoffenheim. And who knows who it is? Again, Christopher Nkunku, Bundesliga player of the season last season. Again with another goal. 11 goals for the season.
Paris Saint-Germain are sitting pretty top of the table. Neymar with a goal and an assist. And of course, our very own Murphy scored for Lorient. PSG won away from home 2-1, and it wasn't the best of performances, but they got the job done. While Lens sits second on the table after beating Angers, and it's really looking like PSG is going to wrap the league up very, very soon.
Okay, with Real Madrid still to play and claim points, Barcelona had a chance to go back to the top of La Liga. They went back with a 2-0 win against Almeria, and it was an emotional day. The reason why it was so emotional was because one of the most decorated centre-backs in world football history, Gerard Piqué, played his last game for the club, and what a way to sign out of a 2-0 convincing win. Atletico Madrid 1-1 draw with Espanyol. And can I have a question about Atletico Madrid? He's done great things for many years there, Diego Simeone, but sometimes you just have to look for a new project. Do you think it's time for him now?
I don't think Atletico Madrid are going to let go of him.
But do you think it's time, regardless of that?
Where is he going to go to?
I don't know, but what more can he do at that club?
I think it's just they won the league 2 years ago, so it's not really a disaster. They can still make top 4 this year,
sure.
Make it to the Champions League, still win the Spanish Cup. You never know. But for me, I don't think Atletico Madrid is going to let go of Diego Simeone. Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid, they are kind of like
hand in hand,
they're
right?
symbiotic.
They
need each other, you know. So I don't see that marriage ending anytime soon.
Fair enough.
Victor Osimhen is the deadliest striker in the Serie A right now. He led his side to a 2-1 victory over Atalanta. They came from behind to win 2-1. Ademola Lookman scored a penalty for them, but nobody can stop this Napoli team right now. They are on fire. Even with players out like Kvaratskhelia out, they still won that game. This season, Napoli wants to win their first Scudetto title since Diego Maradona. They are making history. Now, moving on to Juventus. Juventus, they had a big game with Inter Milan, and they beat Inter Milan. Juventus have made it 2 wins out of 2 after getting knocked out of the Champions League. They are out for blood. Allegri is out for blood. He's under pressure. He needs to win as many games as possible right now to keep him in that position as being the coach of Juventus. Is he going to survive before the end of the season? Because He's lucky he has the World Cup coming on. He can take a breather.
Sure.
Now, AC Milan, obviously, they are fighting so hard to defend their title. They are chasing Napoli with everything they have. Olivier Giroud with a winner in the 89th minute, and he got sent off for taking off his shirt. For me, I think it's a very stupid punishment to punish players for celebrating a goal in the heat of the moment. Football is an emotional sport, people. It's an emotional sport, people. And Maurizio Sarri winning the Rome derby against Jose Mourinho 1-0. Lazio beating Roma. That's, two classic derbies happen in Italy. Juventus versus Inter and the Rome derby. Oh, Italian football was on fire. Italian football is on fire. It's back. It's better than ever. And man, I can't wait to see who wins it.
For those of you who watch me outside of this show, you know myself and Kenebi are Arsenal fans. And it's not like we want to talk about Arsenal week in, week out. We don't. But the club keep forcing us to. They went to Stamford Bridge. The pressure was on. Away from home, against one of the big six sides. Aubameyang. Abama who? Abama where? I think right now he's asking himself, Abama why now? Why? Why did I do it? Why did I post that video before the game? He said it's nothing personal. Gabriel came back and told him it's nothing personal. Did you remember even seeing Aubameyang in that game yesterday?
Aubameyang got 8 touches in that game yesterday. And what am I going to say? I'm not going to lie to you. For the first time in over a decade, I could say it was men against boys yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's very, very hard when you associate a match with Chelsea and Arsenal. It's very hard for you to say that.
For sure.
It's always the other way around. Arsenal were the younger team. They came in there. They had most of the possession. They asked questions. They bossed the game. They were brave. They were good on the ball. I can't remember how many times Ramsdale had a save to make. Or Ramsdale was never busy in that game.
He wasn't busy.
The back four of Arsenal was never tested. Saliba had a breeze throughout the game. Arsenal never needed to get into second gear. We have to ask ourselves 2 questions. Are Arsenal that good or are Chelsea that bad?
And that's a very, very good question, because in that game, if you look at the 11, player for player, from what they've achieved in football so far, you'd have to say the Chelsea players are a higher level than Arsenal.
Chelsea should be the ones in Arsenal's position because Chelsea has spent over 300 million pounds. They have a team that won the Champions League 2 years ago.
They have an experienced manager, more experienced than our manager, they told us.
So I don't understand why Chelsea is 8. Is it 8 or 7 that they are right now?
I don't know.
Why Chelsea is in that position? Chelsea should not be in that position.
They shouldn't. But you see these Arsenal boys, they went into Stamford Bridge like it was their home ground. Let's be honest, it wasn't the most exciting game to watch. And as you said, they didn't have to even get into second gear. Because I believe if they did, it could have been an embarrassing scoreline, like 3, 4, maybe even 5. Chelsea had nothing for us. Kyle Havertz looks lost again. We still don't know his...
saying us.
Sorry, Arsenal. Sorry. My Arsenal sleeve comes on when we talk about that club. But Kai Havertz, one thing that we're still wondering as fans, maybe the Chelsea fans can tell us, what is his best position? I don't even know anymore.
You see, the problem with Kai Havertz was a signing that they never needed. You see, Chelsea's problem is they have too much money to spend.
Yeah.
When you have too much money, you buy things you don't need.
Without strategy.
Do you understand? You buy things you don't need. You see people that are rich, they buy gold toilets, they buy this. What do you need it for? Do you understand? That's what's happening to Chelsea right now. They bought too many players without a plan, without a strategy. And I said it last episode. Chelsea, 50% of their attack is Reece James. You remove Reece James, nothing is happening. You now remove Ben Chilwell, nothing is happening. They are not a creative team. But they bought a team, they sacked the manager that assembled the team, got a manager that doesn't know how to coach a big team. He can't deal with personalities.
I agree. I think he's definitely struggling there. And let's be honest, regardless of the players they had missing, the players that they had available, there's managers out there that could get that 11 playing. I just don't think Potter is picking to set the team up the best for the team. I think he's setting the team up best to his philosophy, but they're not at that stage in their development.
But those players are not Potter's players.
But that's exactly why they're not at the stage of development to him to be drumming in his style. I think he needs to find a way with the resources he has.
And you see the problem is because they're not his players and because he's not so much of an experienced coach. An experienced coach, you see this, you see when Mourinho moved into Tottenham.
You adapt.
He worked with what he had. Conte, the same thing. even with Arteta, you
When
work
he
with what
first
you
came, he
have.
won that FA Cup
Yeah,
with what he had.
you work
not
what
he
you have, but
wanted.
you see, Potter has only been in one world in football. So you bring him to a new world where there's pressure, they demand trophies. He's playing with big personalities. He can't handle it. He can't move the pieces around because he's used to one way. Now you bring him to a Chelsea side that spent 100 million on a defender, 100 million on this one, 100 million on that one. You don't sack a coach. At the back of his mind, he's saying, after 4 games like this, if I don't perform like this, I'm gone. The pressure is too much for him. He can't handle it.
So are we already?
And the honeymoon is over.
Are we already at the stage then with Potter that the job is just too big for him?
Bro,
or does he need more transfer windows?
What's saving him right now is the World Cup that's coming on. Because if he carries this form into Christmas, he's getting the sack.
Facts.
He's getting the sack. He will be the fastest manager to be appointed and get the sack immediately.
But let's be honest. Yesterday wasn't about Graham Potter. It was all about Arsenal. And I think, at some point, every week, rival fans especially, question this guy, Gabriel Magalhaes. But he came up trumps against Fulham when he made the mistake. And yesterday at the Bridge, he came out with a big goal, assisted by big game Bukayo to win the game 1-0 for Arsenal.
I think that it shows a lot of maturity, Gabriel.
Character.
It shows a lot of character, maturity, determination. This team from last season, when they missed out on the top 4, they brushed it off their shoulders. They realized that, look, we're not as bad as people say we are. We are that good. In fact, we are closer to the top than people think we are. Let's show them what we can do. And they added a bit of quality, and we are seeing the fruits of their
100%.
labor. And all we can say is, if Arsenal strengthens in the January window, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Unai Emery. When he left the Premier League, there was a lot of abuse for him. I don't feel the league appreciates him. He got mocked in every single interview. Good evening this, good evening that. But we can never take away his quality. He has more trophies than a number of Premier League coaches, so he demands respect. He came back for his first game back in the Premier League. And if you're a Premier League manager struggling, I don't think the first team you want to play against is Manchester United. Regardless whether they're in transition, you know the record Villa have against Manchester United. So, Man U were favourites. But it was I don't know if you agree with me, Kanebi, it was a convincing 3-1 win for Aston Villa in that game yesterday.
Well, I don't think anybody should be scared playing Manchester United.
No.
Manchester United is very inconsistent.
But it's still Man U, bro.
Yes, they have the name, but they are still inconsistent. Right now, you don't know what to get with Manchester United. You don't know whether you're going to get a counter-attacking team, a possession team, a team that's going to be aggressive. You don't know what to get. And to be honest with you, they played an Europa League match in Spain, which they had to win by 2 goals. They exerted themselves a lot. Ronaldo too started in that game. They played the game with Ronaldo, and a lot of energy. Europa League takes a lot of your energy.
For sure.
And they could not just turn up. Unfortunately, they could not turn up. But that's not an excuse.
We can't give them that because Arsenal Europa League and won at the Bridge.
But you have to look at Villa on the other hand. A new manager bounce in front of the home crowd. He has a point to prove. What better way for you to start your managerial career at Villa than beating Manchester United? And to be honest with you, the last time Unai Emery played Manchester United, he won the Europa League.
That is very, very true.
So what are we saying? He knows how to beat Manchester United. He knows their weaknesses. He knows their strengths. So, to be honest with you, it was a game where Manchester United never saw it coming. It's like a sucker punch from behind.
Sure, but you never expected that to be that convincing. If Villa were going to win, you never thought it'd be that convincing.
But it's Man U.
Surely.
Man U. They have been riding their luck on some performances which have been not convincing, but they've gotten the results. Just because the other opposition just failed to, step it up.
Fair enough. But do you think after yesterday's game, Manchester United fans would be a little bit more appreciative of Bruno Fernandes? Because he was missing from that game yesterday. And Donny van der Beek, even though he's quote-unquote Ten Hag's man, he looked lost in that midfield yesterday.
Well, even at that, it's all about the defense. Because at the end of the day, you consider 3 goals. Whether the attack is there or not, you still consider 3 goals. Yes, they miss Bruno Fernandes. But they need to work on their defense. Varane is out. They have a problem. They have a serious problem. When Varane and Lisandro Martinez were playing together,
They look pretty solid.
Now Varane is out. You're putting Lindelof, you're putting Maguire.
It's not working.
It's not working. Yes, they missed Bruno Fernandes, but at the end of the day, it was their defense that let them down yesterday, rather than their attack. Yes, they got the goal. Yes, they missed a lot of bites. And yes, Ronaldo looks like he's a bit out of pace with the game. But the defensive side of the game needs to improve when Varane is not there.
I agree. And I don't know if they have the facilities to mask the gaps when Varane's not there with Martinez. I believe Martinez
and let's be honest with you, the last game they played was with who? West Ham.
Yeah.
The game made a handful of saves.
He kept them in the game, 100%.
So this is the result. This is what I'm talking about. Last game, they didn't play well. The keeper saved them.
But this is why when Manchester United went on that run where they were winning games, I kept cautioning Man U fans. Look, that you are going to have good periods like this season, but there's also going to be bad periods. That's why I can't see them breaking into the top 4 this season just yet. I believe Man United finish 6th this season. Ten Hag gets a bit more money in the summer, and then they can push on and be a force. But I don't think
and the
they're going to be pushing
And the problem
this year,
is
bro.
Newcastle is playing well.
100%.
Newcastle, the only person that looks like might drop out of the top 4 is Tottenham because of the way they play against the big 6. But Newcastle is a problem for everybody.
100%. But quickly, closing on Unai Emery, I would say Villa is a great fit for him in terms of what the squad is, their expectation, and I believe with his experience over the next 2 years, he can establish them as a top 10 club in the league and potentially win a trophy, one of the cup competitions.
I don't know about that. All I know is he's gonna have it tough in the Premier League. It's gonna be a tough challenge for him. The last time he was in the Premier League, we all saw the outcome. But they need to be patient with him. They need to give him time, and he's going to need a lot of investment because obviously the players that are there are not his. So Unai Emery is going to want to spend.
But he's a tinker, man. He finds a way to make things work.
Yeah, he finds a way to tinker away. But at the end of the day, this is a tough league. This is a league that only the strongest survive.
That is very true. Look, Kanebi, this season it's clear to see, like we've been talking for the last few weeks, Serie A is definitely back. And there's some Africans lighting up the Serie A, especially the Niger boys. Niger boy on the weekend. It was Napoli against Atalanta. And the funniest thing about that game, Osimhen actually conceded the penalty. He's the one that conceded the handball to give the penalty to Atalanta. And you could see from the rest of the team, there was no other person that was going to take that penalty but Ademola Lookman. He looks confident. He looks to have finally found a home. And I think the growth of that league and the Nigerians in that league performing well, it can only bode well for our national side going forward.
I hope so. But at the end of the day, we have no World Cup to play.
Why did you remind me?
We have no tournament to play. So what are we getting excited for? So I hope that yes, they keep playing well. Osimhen, to me, he has the potential to be one of the best powerful strikers in the world. He just needs to keep on improving, get his head down, and obviously play his football and not really listen to the tabloids and the newspapers. Ademola Lookman, I'm happy for him. Yeah. He's finally settled down. He's finding his feet. And for him to actually be scoring goals in a team that has Duvan Zapata is very, very impressive for me. You know, Atalanta have very good strikers. They have Majolowski, they have Muriel, they have Duvan Zapata. These are very good players, and he's the one bringing up the goals. And I'm very, very happy for him. So let's more grease to his elbow. Let them keep on performing well, and hopefully it helps us in the future as a nation, as a footballing nation. But for me, I don't really see how it helps us because we're not in the World Cup.
I hear you, but I just wanted to take some time to give him some confidence because look, Lookman has been looking for a home. He's been searching. But my issue is I hope that he stays at Atalanta for at least a couple of years to really establish himself rather than run back to the Premier League because he has unfinished business and get passed around like he was in the previous years.
Well, at the end of the day, footballers are different. Some footballers, they move for different reasons. They move for family reasons, they move for money reasons, they move for language barriers, move for whatever, or tax reasons. He has played in so many clubs. He has played in Leipzig, he has played in Leicester, he has played in so and so.
Everywhere.
Fulham, yeah. But we hope that, yes, he has found a home, and he's still a young player.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that, you know, he can actually, you know, settle down, do well, create his own destiny over there in Atalanta. But at the end of the day, you never know with football. Football is just like that. Anything can happen.
Okay, I'm going to throw this scenario to you and to the viewers. Arsenal finish in the top 2. They're back in the Champions League. They have Jesus and Nketiah as their strikers. They put in an 80 million bid for Osimhen. Are we title contenders next season? Are Arsenal title contenders with that?
Yeah, Arsenal are title contenders with that, but I think Arsenal will need more than that. You still need to cover Thomas Partey.
Real talk. And another winger.
Because Thomas Partey is the most important player in that piece now.
He's definitely the best African defensive midfielder.
I mean, if you look at Arsenal's spine right now, Arsenal have a spine. They have Gabriel Jesus, they have Partey, they have Saliba, and they have Ramsdale. There's a spine there right now. So you're looking at that spine and you're thinking to yourself, if one of these guys are out, there's a problem. Maybe Saliba you can still manage because Ben White could still do a job for us.
But you definitely take Osimhen at Arsenal, right?
I'll take Osimhen at Arsenal, definitely.
Right.
I think he can be a problem. But my problem is...
we need to do more. I mean, Arsenal need to do more.
Goal scoring. Can he give you 20 goals?
It's evident since we've been doing this show, Africans are on fire all over the top 5 leagues in Europe. And another guy that just can't stop scoring, no matter what competition he is, it's Cameroonian striker Choupo-Moting, making it 4 consecutive games with 5 goals. He's absolutely unstoppable right now, and it's like his career is getting better and better every year.
Well, another African on fire, we all know him, is Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen has 8 goals and 2 assists in the Serie A this season. He is carrying Napoli. He is leading Napoli to the Serie A title, to the Scudetto, and this might be their year since the days of Diego Maradona.
We go see, we go see. Also, Mo Salah. Now, I'm not going to finish the song, but he was back to his silky best. 2 instinctive goals on the weekend against Tottenham, sinking them, giving Liverpool their first away victory of the season in the Premier League, and bouncing back after back-to-back defeats against Nottingham Forest and Leeds. Mo Salah, the Egyptian king, is back.
Although they lost, but his individual performance was great. Ademola Lookman again on the score sheet with a penalty for Atalanta, and he seems to be a rejuvenated player, a brand new player, and he's on fire this season.
Oh yeah, now my people, is Kunle your guy, the Nigerian Englishman?
Akanebi, aka Mr. Gopo.
And there you have another episode of Round on the Ground. See you next week. Feel the heat.
Peace.